Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to make one small project on classification problem. So we will see one mini project of online payments fraud detection. In this we will train a machine learning model for classifying whether somebody is fraudulent or non-fraudulent in payments. For this we need a data set containing information about online payments and frauds. So let's just first import our few libraries, like import numpy as np, import pandas as pd. Now I will run this. So basically first we will import our data set, that is data is equal to pd dot read csv, and we will import our data set here. I have already taken out the data set. So this is our data set. Now we will check what's inside our data once the data set is uploaded. So basically this data set is about whether the uh, person is going to be a fraudulent or non-fraudulent during the payments. So first of all we will see what all columns are there in this data set. So as you can see here, there are total number of columns 11, and there is around 6 lakh 36,000 63 lakhs 62,620 rows. So in this data set, as we can see, there is a type, what type of payment we are going to do, whether it is a payment, transfer, cash out and all those things. Next is the amount, and there is also what is the old balance and what is the new balance after the transaction has happened. And there is a column with this, whether it is a fraud or not, whether the fraudulent or non-fraudulent payments have been done. So for this, first of all we will check how many null rows are there in our data set. For that I will use data.isNull dot sum, and it will tell how many null rows are there in our data set. Okay, so as we can see that no columns have null values in it. So first of all we will check what kind of payments, type of payments are there. So data dot typ, that is the column name, dot value counts so as we can see there are 5 types there is. One is cash out, another is the payment, one is cash in, another is the transfer and debit. So first of all we will check all this of transactions with a in a graphical manner by visualizing it through Plotly library. So for that I will first create a variable transactions. No, first we will create type is equal to data underscore type type dot value counts. We'll store this value in type, and will separate its value on the basis typ type dot index and quantity is equal to type dot values. So this will separate our data. Now we'll graphically see this values. Import plotly dot express as px figure is equal to px dot pi, and in the values we will first provide the entire data, our data frame, and we will specify what values we want to see in the pie plot, that is quantity and names. What are the names of the quantity of which we want to plot a pie chart of it? So transaction comma size of the whole, that is 0.5, and title is equal to distribution of transaction type, and at the end we will do figure dot show. Now I will run this cell and it will show the entire distribution of the transaction in visualize format. So here it is. So distribution of transaction according to type: cash out, payments, cash in, transfer and debit. Now once this is done, we will see what's the correlation between all these columns. So for that, first of all we will see what correlation is there. For that we will create one variable correlation is equal to data dot cor, and will print this correlation in terms of fraud. So correlation, as we can see, in terms of is fraud is our target variable, whether the transaction or the payments have been fraudulent or non-fraudulent. So this will be our target column. So I will choose this is fraud correlation is fraud dot sort values ascending is equal to false. So as soon as I print this, it will show me the correlation among the column. As data is huge, so it is taking little bit more time, and we can see what's the correlation with all the columns. So there is little correlation among the columns. So we'll first have to check how many categorical columns are there. So type is a categorical column, name origin is a categorical column, but what categorical columns are useful for our classification problem, that we will include here. So this type column is essential for us, and we will turn this categorical column with encoding into numerical column. So for that we will type data type type is equal to data type, and we will convert all categorical value into numerical by using map function and passing a dictionary of all the values. So first one is the cash out. So I will write here cash out as the key, and what numerical value I want to assign it, like 1 I have assigned to it. Next is payment, equal to 2, and third value is cash in, and we will assign this as 3. Now what is the another value? That is transfer. So we will convert transfer into value 4, and the fifth one is debit. So I will write debit and give this as a value 5. Similarly, our target column, that is fraud. Is fraud is given in terms of 0 and 1. So we don't need to change that. Now I will divide, after running this, our data set into train, test and split. First of all, we have to assign the x and y variables, and then we will divide the data set using train, test, split. So what all columns I need in the x variable, that is, one is type, another is the old balance, and after that we need new balance also, and amount. What amount? So these 4 columns are needed. So I will put it in the x value, np dot array data first one is type another one is amount, so I will put amount here, and old balance and new balance. Old balance and new balance. So with these 4 columns we can easily classify our data, whether it is a fraudulent or non-fraudulent payment. So target column is y np dot array data fraud is our target column. Rest of the data which we can see over here is name, dest, name, origin. All these are categorical columns and are not needed in our classification problem. So I have divided the data into train, test and split. Now we'll use train, test and split over it. From sklearn dot model selection import train, test, split, and also the classifier which we want to use. So for this problem I am using decision tree. From sklearn dot tree import decision tree classifier. Now I will divide this data into xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest, train test split, x comma y comma test size 0.2 and random state is equal to 42. Now we will see our X train shape. So this is our X train shape with 4 columns. Now we'll fit our model by calling the decision tree classifier object. Decision tree classifier and model dot fit x train comma y train, and we'll check the score for it. Model score x test comma y test. So after training this, we will see what's the accuracy score for us. As the data is large, it is taking time for training our model. Once we get the score, that score is showing 99%, means our model is trained and have 99% accuracy. So we will test it on the new data points which we will provide, how well it predicts the value. So I will choose one data point. For this I will enter 4 comma 9000.60 comma 9000.60 comma 0 point, and the fourth value is amount we have provided, old balance we have provided, and new balance, that is 0.0. Now I will try to predict with the model whether it detects the fraud or not. Features, and it says that it's a fraud. So thank you guys for this mini project, and we will meet with another project in next video.